Hello, I'm Michael, and I'm presenting you my design for the Center for Nature. The concept for the design has been inspired by Lian's artwork and poetry through her use of organic shapes and materials, which translates the multiplicity in nature from a basic element into an ecosystem of design. The sketch here shows the intention of this multiplicity. The site analysis has enabled us to come up with factors that inform the design scheme. For example, having the traffic being mapped, which enable us to see that this needs to be raised, and the existing greenery that needs to be preserved. Of the edge curves condition that can be challenging has also been identified. Placing these elements into spatial context, the links become obvious, where existing circulation and gathering patterns create nodes which needs to be considered. The character along the side makes for three types of spaces like knowledge, active, and passive, where all these are, for example, the Center for Nature is more along the green area and also like a very strong link access, active with the shops along it, and the more passive area for the apartments. By combining the analysis, observations, and concept together, the strips are a device of integrating the links from the CBD to the residential area, the active frontage of Arthur Street, the connection for the park, and the building edge for the apartments. Through the careful placement of the strips through the vegetation, the green has been preserved and added on the roof as public spaces where functions have been added to it. The articulation of the design is important to clarify the intention of the building to fit its context of the slope and fabric. The strips are raised or lowered according to the activity, like shops, for example, being more active, and connectivity to landscape where it's lowered down. Adding another layer to that, the scale of the strips fit the existing context with their active facades interacting, creating pockets of spaces between them. Also, the structure is integrated with the building with articulations with retaining walls and columns at strategic points. As a development of the bubble diagram, the functions for these categories here are being placed on the massing. The section also shows how these functions, a space between them, like the public spaces, and the clearance with the highway all works together. The last layer is the roofscape, circulation, and connections. The streets and access around the sites create a network of links. People have the choice of going through the site or experiencing the promenade with functions located around them, here shown as stationary points. Here's a summary of how, from the beginning of analyzing it, vegetation, articulation, functions, and integration, and all of them create like the final one. A strong emphasis has been placed on the connections to the site, where the 5 main entrances cross the streets around. The same pavement material has been used on the roads to give priority to pedestrians. This creates a matching edge condition to the surroundings. The whole scheme has been categorized into 3 phases. Apartments and co-working spaces will make the project profitable to support the construction of the next phases. The floor plan, the architecture workshop on the left, workshop, arts and craft all form together the Center for Nature with overlapping spaces. The plaza with seatings create a welcoming gathering spot, and commercial spaces along it leads up to the co-working spaces. These co-working spaces and apartments have their own entrances and service access. On the roofscape promenade, the layout creates sticky spaces with functions such as commercial, exhibition of arts and craft, and library forming part alongside it. The apartments that have their own rooftop spaces for residents to use and gardening. The whole scheme, shown with this long section, has an overall ESD strategy, mainly dealing with passive design to reduce energy consumption and improve thermal comfort with greenery and public spaces. The community living and co-working creates a whole complete ecosystem of the site and community. Zooming in onto each strip, the ESD elements of the green roof helps to improve energy efficiency through natural lighting, ventilation, and insulation and water recycling for the roof. This will help improving the thermal comfort and also reducing the energy consumption. This section shows the access to the apartments from the upper level of the site, and on the other side having the edge with this amazing view to the harbor. The ramp connecting from the residential to the building goes down the slope. The slope roof gesture makes it fit right into the context, with the right side being higher to the CBD and also the left side being lower to the residentials. This will help to match its context and also prevent overshadowing in the morning with the slope going down. This section shows the connection of the active shopping facades to Orchard Street and the section through the library to the roofscape. The library has a double height space with amazing views to the harbor, and the library bridges over the services building. Here is shown the intersection of Mount Street and Arthur Street, and the roofscape bridging over the Mount Street onto the southern side of the site. The height enables a whole flow of services for all the functions happening above. This section through the plaza shows the public space with seatings going up to the roofscape. This bridges over the highway ramp to allow enough clearance for the cars. The section through the longest roofscape span here shows the viewpoint on the left and the slope down with an access to the exhibition areas. The extending roof over the existing vegetation on the left and right brings an immersive experience of nature. So here's the lowest spot of the site for the section here, and we can see like these two accesses being like very integrated with the context with the park on this side and the Arthur Street on this side. Here is shown the model explorations of the interactions of each strip to the context. Buildings with higher massing has been placed on the right to allow views of the CBD to the harbor. The building strips have openings facing north for lighting, and building masses have ample daylighting throughout the year.